Bring me everyone.
You mean everyone?
Everyone! Yes. I don't get it.
Get away from her, you bitch!
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Welcome, everybody. Tuesday night. Here we are again. We are on episode 21. I didn't think we'd make it past episode 1, but here we are. We've been going at this now for a few months. And first, we're going to get my co-host on here, my good pal, Victor. What's up, buddy?
Hi,
Wrong
hello.
one.
Oh, well, it both worked. Now the surprise is ruined. I'm good. Hello,
Here's our
all.
special guest, Andrew, Gayties Toys.
Oh,
Hi,
hey.
Andrew.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, man.
You know, right before you started, Thomas, you said amateur hour. Boing.
That's it. Gotta learn how to do that. But it's our first guest, so
It is
of course-
the first time
of
we've
course
had
it'll be
a
mistake.
threesome.
Oh,
Right.
hello.
The news
So,
rebel.
Andrew, thanks for hopping on. First of all, I asked Andrew maybe a couple days ago, and I think maybe I didn't specify it was this Tuesday. So when I messaged him this morning, he was like, "Oh, I thought it was next Tuesday," but I'm
Oh
good.
my God,
So-
you gave him no time at all.
I know.
Just-
I woke up and there's like notification like joining us tonight, and I was like, oh, okay.
I don't know how I survived the workday, but how's everybody's week going? Victor, how's your week going?
You know, I have 2 days off the next 2 days because I got to assist my partner with surgery. He's getting his eye bags removed, so he won't be able to see. That's a fun surgery. So I'm good.
Cosmetic surgery.
Yeah, it's cosmetic. I had my cosmetic surgery. You can't see it. I hit it under my chin. So I should have a nice firmer line. That was a couple months ago. But yeah, doing a little cosmetic.
Not
Helping
there
out.
yet, but you take care of him. Andrew, how's your week going?
It's been busy, but it's sort of our quarterly board of directors time kind of thing. So it's been a little nutty, but then pretty much, 3:00 tomorrow, done. And then, I'm pretty much checked out for the week. So I just got to get through the next 12 hours and we're good to go.
I was watching this thing of like people in the professional workforce, and then they switch to their hobby. They just completely turn their mind off. And I don't give specifics of what I do, especially on the internet. But to think of the world that I'm in Monday through Friday, and then to just be here on a Tuesday talking about toys. I don't tell many people.
Oh, I
about it,
know.
but it's fine.
Even the
I think
dress
Victor
code
does.
is like, I go in from like 3-piece suit, wool vest, all that stuff, and then come here and I'm like Gumby shirt, like just like drop close the door, and I'm like, at last, I'm back to me.
There's my Gumby and Pokey shirt.
You don't tell people that this thing that you do online much.
I mean,
It's
for
a
friends and
depends.
family, yeah, but like not work people.
Not work people.
very few,
I tell people at
especially-
work. I'm always like, come on, get on board. I make my 3 assistants watch my show every Friday. Say, so how is it? So I make them
You'll
do
be
it. Part of their
quizzed.
work day. I'm paid
But
them to do.
we know where you work, so there's a big nerdy fan base there. Like where I work, everyone's like all business all the time.
Right. True.
Yep.
True.
Men's with Card, good evening, fellas. Happy Tuesday. Good to see you all. Good to see you. Pit Mace, hello everyone. Eddie is doing a live stream with my brother on Mondays. They talk about random things.
It's all in the family.
I've been picking on him a lot in the chat. They did their favorite crushes from the 90s, and somehow one of his favorite crushes was Mona from from Who's the Boss?
Who's the boss?
This has been going around. I've heard Mona in conversation a lot the past week or so, and I'm like, what's happening out there?
That was a
Not only
shocker.
will we make fun of him in his own live stream, but we'll make fun of you, Eddie, here. So it's all in good fun. All in good fun. But All right. So, Andrew, thanks for hopping on. We have been going at this now a couple months, and what we do is normally, probably similar to other live streams. I don't know, but we talk about what's kind of new and in the present, but then we also like to go back and kind of, what got us here, what got us to this like crazy world of collecting. So before we get into all that, um, let everybody know kind of like, what is your channel about? What's your content about? What's your bread and butter? What are you into collecting today? And then we'll get into the rest of the show.
Yeah, so I mean, I think I'm probably somewhere between the two of you, where I'm, I guess, what they call Zennials. So born late 70s, kind of early 80s. And in that very specific kind of zone where, we were almost like born, like raised Gen X, in the sense that we had our own key, we were left alone. And then suddenly one night, as we were getting into the workforce, we were thrust into technology and the internet. So it's like, it's a weird little slice of generational thing. So, but also very specifically, like, it's kind of based around 80s cartoons, really. So my channel, it's called Gayties Toys, as per the log line down there. But I started going, I almost got lightly bullied by other YouTubers to do something I was doing on Instagram, and that's called MIA 80s Ladies, where I discussed all the female characters from the 80s and a bit 70s and 90s who didn't get made into action figures. And I thought stupidly that was going to be a little short project, and I'm about 130 in now. A lot of these characters are grouped together because I'm tired. There's just too many. But it's a lot, and it's a fun little jaunt for me because I do touch on properties that I'm less familiar with, especially like the 90s ones. And it's been very problematic because, nacelle toys particularly are like, I'm doing like Cowboys and Mumisa, and at the same time, Nacelle's like, would you like these figures? And I'm like, yes, I would, actually. Like, suddenly I'm a Cowboys fan. So it's been problematic, but it's been fun. And it's I've got a lot under my belt now, but there's a lot more coming. So stay tuned for some weird and wacky, obscure characters.
Well, Andrew, I love when I watched your show early on and I was starting to get involved with what it was about, because I was always fascinated at certain characters that didn't make it. One of my big heartaches is Gloria Baker from Mask, never being officially made. But then the Visionaries came later in my life, and I knew who they were. And I mean officially made when I talk about Gloria. They did make the second part of the wave of her, but I didn't love it. I have her, but I don't like her. Somebody actually 3D printed a proper yellow mask for me for my Gloria. Now, if somebody could paint my Gloria figure, I'd be happy. But anyway, you dug deep into it, Andrew, into your subject. And I really thought that was great because it wasn't very surface. It was a lot of content, a lot of extraneous information about them that was fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, like, a lot of it. I mean, the funny thing is, like, early on, I did some of my heavies, like my favorites, like from Visionaries, from Bucky O'Hare, a lot of ones that had prototypes, a lot of them that were sort of talked about, in nerd circles ever since. But then really kind of diving in. Like the next one coming up is Shadow Strikers, which I know nothing about, and I had to actually like reach out to the producers because I'm like, what's her name, because it's not mentioned in the cartoon, not once, but she was like the main villainess, and I was like, this is absurd. But like there's that kind of thing where a lot of research goes in, because I mean, some of the older ones I could just rhyme this off top of my head, but lately I'm like, I gotta make some contacts here, because
and when you reach out to like a producer, are they pretty responsive?
They are, but I mean, like, it always comes back, they're like, I haven't thought about this absurdly obscure cartoon in 30 years. I'm like, I'll bet, because I don't know anything about it either. So you're my one link to actually like understand what this is and what was the point of this. Like, why were these characters put in when they clearly weren't meant for the toy line?
And cool. Besides some of the like Golden Girls or She-Ra, you don't really cover true dolls. I mean, I'm going to call them action figures because they do call She-Ra action figures and Golden Girls. So you really have a lot of content for not going strictly into, fashion doll.
Yeah, I think like I talked about Gem because I mean there's a whole
she
line
is,
for
please,
1987.
she's got to be talked about.
Gem is, I mean, just a different animal completely. Like, exactly. I'm gonna do Loyal Subjects one soon. I still do want a Gem action figure line, but the TLS dolls. I'm like, I'm not a doll person, but I'm like, I'll take it. I'm so hungry for something.
But the loyal subjects are starting to like the mass. Oh, we love her. Yeah, she's beautiful. She's part of the gem crowd. I'm gonna give her that. So TLS though, they're not the rest of the band. I think they've made all the holograms. They've made Golden Girls, so they haven't done much of the Misfits though.
No, I think they've shown pizzazz, and then the fans, gem fans, are like kind of like something I learned, brushing up into the gem doll world kind of thing, was that like Monster High fans, gem fans, they are like, if you think like the boy fans are crazy, if this circle is like you have no idea. You have no idea. So like, I guess the gem fan says we don't like Pizzazz's face. Do it better.
What I've seen a lot about gem is that, especially like men in the toy collecting world, to get their like wives into it, they're like, oh, but I'm always looking for gem for my wife. So it's like a weird gateway. I would love to see gem in some sort of classified version, right? Because I think then you'd open up, you double the market, not just boy collectors, but I think you definitely double
because if you make her like cover girl, she'll be off the shelf.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah, and the thing is, like, there's so many live streams that go on, or like these things like I'm in chat kind of thing, and like people always, especially Gem, Shira, of course, because she's sort of sister to He-Man, but Gem's the one who's there. Like, all the boys were like, I would buy it. It's not for me. It's not part of my thing, but like I would buy Gem 100%.
I'd buy it. I've never seen an episode of Gem, but like I love Dazzler, and I think I want to say Gem was inspired a little bit by Dazzler. I'm trying to say that. I don't know what came first, chicken or the egg, but I say it. But cool. I think everyone, if you are joining the chat and you have not subscribed to Gayties Toys, his link is down the channel, so you can go ahead and do that. Gayties, before we get started, we always like to do a little segment. If you picked up anything, if you pre-ordered anything, so I love to kind of introduce this section with
Behold my stuff.
Ooh.
I love the end of that.
Now,
it makes it every time.
Typically, at least when we started this in 2025, like I was getting things in like every week because I have some sort of addiction. But Victor would almost have nothing. I think the tables have turned, Victor.
Yes.
I've gotten a few things, but what did you get, Victor?
Well, I did receive 3 G.I. Joe classified. So that's the thing. I don't have the addiction like you. I definitely have I will get these things. And as they come out, I grab them. So I did get 3 classified. The first 2 are the double pack. There was Short Fuse and Steeler. Now, those are from 82 and 83. So they're very early G.I. Joes. And what you don't like about G.I. Joe, these are completely and utterly green. Like they are green army men. They could be in Toy Story. So they were very boring characters in the 82 and 83, very military. So there isn't anything bright or great about them. But what I love is we talked about this in a couple episodes ago where G.I. Joe had the very first wave had like 4 heads that looked the same and then another 3. But the great thing about these guys is they do such a good job with what they make these heads out to be now. It's like a total re-envisioning. This guy's got glasses. That's annoying. But I'm loving the look. So they really do these original head sculpts so well. So I was super excited to get the 2-pack of these guys. It's just getting closer to getting those originals done. And these guys are hot. They're just well made.
It's true.
And then finally, I did
their original faces. Their original faces were like fugly though.
Oh,
they were fugly,
ugly.
Faces. Totally. And then of course I got Lifeline, and Lifeline's a little bit later in the series, but we got a shockingly red EMT. I mean, he comes with a bag of plasma, I'm guessing, or some sort of maybe just morphine. I don't know. And he's grabbing his gun. He's a really great figure. Comes with his kit. So Lifeline also has a removable helmet. So I got all 3 of these guys, and even got another thing on pre-order. So I'm excited. I picked up all 3. They go on the shelf well, which I changed. My G.I. Joes are now above instead of below. So I did a dusting this week.
Nice. I'm thinking about rearranging my whole Marvel Legends shelf because I think the G.I. Joe is just getting a little overwhelming, and I think they're becoming the dominant collection. So the Marvel Legends, they're getting a little overwhelming. Gayties, did you pick up anything this week?
No, I mean I think I pre-ordered a few things. Janine Melnitz today. I spent a bit of money on that, so that's fine.
How much did that go for?
So here's the thing, I'm in Canada, so like a lot with the exchange rate. So I think it's like 140 for her, the desk, all the stuff. Like, so it's a bit much. But I mean, that said, I mean, like I think I'm in for the 5, and then I'm taking a wash on the line, so it's all good. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, like it's been a lean year even before Chinese New Year's, now that the factories are basically closed for the next month. So like not a lot. So I've actually been more getting like better, I'm getting more lights. I'm getting some like stands. I'm getting sort of, the kind of the stuff you don't want to spend money on. But now that it's kind of like quiet, I'm like, okay, now it's time to like plan. And I've been like selling things and reshuffling the shelves and all that. So that's fun. But one of the things I didn't get it. It should be here hopefully tomorrow, the day after. It's like a castle from Prince Caspian, the Narnia movies.
Okay.
I don't know what it's called, but it's like I think it's probably made for 3 3/4, maybe 4-inch, like in that realm kind of thing. I'm shocked it's not in everyone's toy photography, but I found one for like $30. No accessories, a little beaten up, didn't care. The price was right finally. And it's just this huge kind of standard castle with a walkway that goes across, and there's like a little stream underneath. And it's just perfect for like Castle Destro or Visionaries, which will be coming at some point soon, or what have you. So the price was finally right for like, for $30. If it's a beater, it's a great little display piece for kind of G.I. Joe or Visionaries or any kind of like medieval-esque thing.
When did this castle come out?
Whenever Narnia movies came out, I don't know.
Seriously, for that Prince Caspian movie some years ago?
It came out
probably 10 years ago.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So it's the thing I always look for it, but it was like too expensive in a box. And I'm like, I don't care about the accessories at all. Like, I'm not here for Prince Caspian.
I remember it was 2008 because I still worked at Disney, and that's when they opened the Prince Caspian experience.
Ooh.
So it was at least in that time frame. So 2008, 2009. All right, cool. So do you normally like go back, like you're a modern day and vintage collector, right?
Yeah, for sure. I'd say, I mean, it really just depends on what it is. I mean, sometimes like, again, if you've been to my channel, it must have Lady. And if Lady not there, then I will make it happen. So I work with a lot of like 3D printers and stuff like that. So I've got some people like, I've got some people to fill in slots. So I got like Pirates of Darkwater and I worked with Funky McClunky. I'm like, I need Tula. I'm not buying this collection without Tula. So he made her. She's on his Etsy store now, and she's great. But like, but otherwise, yeah, it's sort of. It really just depends. I mean, say Star Wars, like I kind of jumped on and off the Black Series pretty early, and then I was like, I hate this. I'm gonna go back and get the vintage, like not vintage, I guess retro now, the actual original line, because I'm like, it's timeless. I mean, they're janky, they're this that, but I mean, like that's Star Wars to me. So.
We'll talk about that a little later. One of my biggest frustrations with Black Series and is that they're never going to go as deep as the original Star Wars 3 3/4 line. And they are just flooding vintage toy stores where like if you wanted a specific character, if you can't find it in a vintage toy store that's like peg warming the shelves, you could go find it. They're really, there's a few of them that are worth more than $100. Like maybe I say that, but there's probably a bunch you can get at a decent price and still fill that itch, I think.
I feel like Black Series, though, it's basically like, do you like Mandalorian? Do you like another clone repaint? Do you want another clone repaint? Do you want a different clone from this comic book? Like, it's absurd. And I'm like, I want Cantina aliens. I want rebel generals. I want the weirdos. I want Aunt Beru. Like, I want like wackadoo characters that mean nothing, like nothing, like just background technicians. I want that. And they're like, here's another clone.
God, that always reminds me that when they released the guy running out of Bespin City holding like an ice cream maker, I remember being like, wow, we have gone to levels I have never seen.
But if they make him in the retro collection, I'll buy it. I will 100%
I bet
buy
you would,
it.
yeah. At least we got Quinlan Voss.
In the retro collection, I'll go back. Any Jedi that comes out, I'll buy because then I fit them. I don't have my Star Wars stuff set up, but every now and then I set up my Attack of the Clones playset and I just love to pack it with like new Jedi. So it just depends. But mostly if I do pick up Star Wars, like I have a new thing whenever I go to con, I'm gonna pick up one battle droid and one stormtrooper, and I know there's gonna be at least one. So it's just a fun way to build that army.
I could just see Thomas every now and then. I set up this thing, and then I'm all pew pew, and you're fighting in your room.
I do, and I just look at it.
Right.
Won't be shamed.
Right. So I feel like all the toy news came out last week, but we did miss some stuff. So we'll circle back and just chat about it, and then we're going to get into the main topic of tonight's show. So few things, Victor. This is more up your alley, and I saw that these released.
Oh my god!
Is
I'm
this
probably gonna get them all?
Oh, okay. Normally you're like, no, I'm good, but okay,
No,
you'll get this.
So I have an original 1970s Cylon and Daggett, the Muffet a dog. I have one back here, the original toys that I had. But it would be nice if they would make something of quality to put on my shelf for Battlestar Galactica. Because as you know, I represent my favorite franchises made famous in the 80s or 70s. So I love these guys. So it looks like in the front that's Boom. No, I see Starbuck and Apollo. Are they the same ones in the front? Because that looks like Boomer. It looks like a black guy.
I think it's
but
them
anyway,
with helmets on.
I love these guys very much.
So, Victor's going to spend some money. Okay.
I might. When are these released? I never know that. They show shit, and I'm like, when?
Today. I've seen them on like some e-tailers now.
Easy. All right, you guys talk. Let me go ahead and
stay busy.
Battlestar Galactica, is that your thing?
I loved it back in the day, but it never really, made a way through. But then I'm probably more the reimagining from like 2000.
Yeah, I was gonna say that age difference does make a difference.
Richard
Yeah,
said,
I watched this, but like it was incredible at the time. But I mean, like I was more into V, like the V for Victory, V for Visitors kind of thing. That was more my sci-fi.
I love Victor. I love V too. Look at retro. The dog robot. You never knew what he was from. For God's sake, hold on.
Yep, he's in every flea market. You could see that dog everywhere.
But if his tail is still intact, that is extra special. So this is Muffet, the Daggett. This is very fragile tail. So keeping that is very important.
That's a tail.
This is original right here.
That tail is.
Can you
telling a story?
Put that tail closer to the camera. I'm demonetized.
Well, Apollo thought it was great.
I bet. He was like, "This is fun." So Mondo came out pretty hot this week. I don't collect any Mondo. I have one Mondo figure. It's like a corgi from Cowboy Bebop, just because I have two corgis. I love the show. I won't buy these figures, but I think the show is hilarious.
I love these characters. I do.
Yeah, the show was fun, and these look spot on. I mean, as Mondo does, like, and they're.
Mondo.
I like the
beautiful.
Yeah, I like this. This notion where they're not really like action figures, but you can sort of switch out arms and heads, and sort of it's like a action statue.
Does that mean they're cheaper? I hope so.
Yes, but I mean, comparatively, still not cheap.
Yeah, man, that's the only thing holding. That's the only thing holding me back from like any Mondo is I'm poor. But hey, you actually picked this up to like
I sure did.
I do want to collect this line. I mean, I think the ship has sailed, right? You can't get the other Ghostbusters, can you?
You can buy them individually. You can't buy the ghosts anymore.
Oh, that's tempting. Damn. But this is awesome. I had a few Janine figures, but I always kind of wanted her in like a jumpsuit, and I think they did like a pink one where her eyes like bugged out. But I just wanted like a standard figure without.
I actually did her. I did a video on her, even though she had 4 figures, which is more than anybody, more than most male characters, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But we never got this, and then the closest we got to her kind of Venkman-y jumpsuit from the cartoon was, I think, the last one, but it was in this like purple racing stripes color scheme. It's ugly.
Yeah, I remember
sculpt
that
is
one.
great, but the paint is awful, and I'm like, I just want this. I just want sassy Secretary Janine.
You said you're only in for the 5. What if they came out with is it Tully?
Yeah, he's coming soon in his Ghostbusters suit, which I'm like, I want the bow tie, if anything. So we'll see. And then
what year did this cartoon, the original real Ghostbusters, come out?
85?
Yeah, I think so.
maybe.
85,
I don't believe
86.
either of you, so let me check.
But
It was very
man,
mid 80s. So it was around like when He-Man and Transformers and like the Holy Three were kind of like a little on the down, and then Thundercats, Ghostbusters, they became sort of the new hotness for a bit
He's
there.
86. Okay, so September 86. All right.
it was a great line. Yeah, I mean, this is a great Janine. I would like to see her in a jumpsuit, but I mean, this is probably what you only saw her in, I think. But then you get the 2 extra ghosts, which is cool. I mean, the desk. I would never buy something just for the. I know I have bought things just for the accessory, but
I was going to say, wait a minute.
The
This
Batcave.
sculpt of her, these legs and feet, that's a great sculpt. It really is.
Yeah,
it's very Princess Leia did that for like a Jabba the Hutt, gold bikini Leia. They did that where the bottom half would pop off and you could have her kind of leaning up against Jabba.
I love that her computer screen has like the in sleep mode design on it,
I like the
also like
the desk.
She comes with a book that says like how to like change careers and all stuff. It's very everything's very sassy. Like
I like that.
All right, let's see.
But also too that she could get different colors. Like they're good. I already know they're going to do a jumpsuit, but they could do. She came in like orange and yellow, and then blue and pink. Like you could repaint this.
Yeah,
a dozen times. Like
it's cool. And the head sculpt's
crazy.
I saw this. I thought this was pretty cool.
This is great.
Now, is this from the movie?
The thing that makes me love this is that, well, that's the thing. Nowadays, they make action figures with the movie line, but they're not in the film. Transformers started that big time with the Bayverse, but they started putting in they were on the card of the movie, and yet they were never seen. They're never mentioned. They're never talked about. So I'm a little nervous, but not nervous. I love Scareglow. He's a fantastic, beautiful looking character, great backstory, but it'd be awesome if he was in the film, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
Like this is something for not a Master of the Universe collector. I would just get it and fit it somewhere on my shelf.
Sure.
Anytime Scareglow comes out, I mean, he's just, I can't imagine he's not one of their best sellers. Like everybody wants Scareglow, and even though he was like from the last wave.
Last one, Andrew. Like the last. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No storyline in the original. He comes up and everyone's like, what? What is this? And he's just awesome looking. A little on the, what is that guy in the comic character, Nicolas Cage, Firehead? What's his name?
Ghost Rider.
Oh, Ghost Rider.
He looks a lot like there on the left.
A little bit.
Yeah. I mean, but this is also a new take. I mean, I love that they just have, again, just a muscle body with skulls painted over it, which is so classic. But like, but they gave him the green little, the Ghost Rider flame. I mean, like it's something new, and the scythe is new. Like it's great. Like purple and green is just like the ultimate villain color scheme. So I mean, he's
very
just,
Halloween
he's
color.
Yeah, he's perfect every time.
But this is the first figure Chronicles has debuted that we know is not in the film, or we don't know is in the film. Like everyone else, you're like, yep, seen him in the trailer, and they pop this out, and you're like, what?
Are you?
I mean, it could be a cameo. This could be a spoiler.
It could be. What was that, Thomas?
Are you all in on this line, Victor?
So far, the Chronicles have they grew on me. The first time I saw the quick look, I wasn't sure. But when I saw Tila came with her hair up, I looked closer at most of the other, like Evelyn's face, I didn't love. But overall, the Chronicles action figures look really good. So I am most likely going to pick and choose.
Okay.
I thought He-Man, Skeletor, and Battle Cat. But then again, I want Tila. So, God. What do I do? What do I do?
That's how it starts.
I just found like ever since episode 1, like I need to watch the movie and then I will decide, because I was in line at Walmart for episode 1. I bought everything and then I went to the movie and I was like, what the hell was that? So like I learned my lesson
disappointed.
Yeah.
Retro Anthony says I have that Janine. I think he's talking about one of the retro ones. And then would you buy a Mondo Ecto one? That would be
God, like
be $1 million and this big.
Honestly, I could probably find a 6-inch scale facsimile that's a little cheaper than Mondo's.
They are going to do movie figures, and then these with the black and gold are on offshoot of the lines. Maybe
it's a really good point, because the design of the box was different, and that could have been the call sign.
Yeah. Are we doing Todd McFarlane like red platinum
diamond
edition?
So right. Scareglow makes Skeletor look like a wuss. It's just it's so true. This was like this upgrade, right?
I think Chronicles are looking pretty good overall, about as good as New Eternia, if not better.
Okay,
it's true.
All right, then you saw the next one already, but I think this is a re-release from NECA, but this one has sounds.
Ooh.
We all RoboCop
So it's more
fans.
money.
No, RoboCop doesn't do anything for me.
Not even the movies.
I love the first movie. The first
I
one,
mean, the
yes.
movie was fine, but I don't have any. Yeah, I don't ever choose to watch it again, or watch reactors watch it. That means a lot to me. That means I hate it.
I just love the figures back in the day where you actually put cap gun things
Oh.
inside the figure.
Cap guns were awesome.
I
They
love
let
all
us
the
ex-
R-rated toy lines we got in like sort of like the early to mid '90s, where you're like, "Who's this
100%.
for?" Like it's so even
Terminator,
at the time.
RoboCop, Aliens,
Yeah.
Predator. Oh yeah, Commando, Rambo. Good lord.
That's
There was
right.
all of them.
Rambo was earlier, yeah.
Like
We
the
got
kid's
full
not gonna want to
Rambo.
watch that movie. Like, oh, what can I watch?
Which we
this movie
did.
now that I have the toys? Yeah,
We did though, because first of all, once a VHS, you could watch anything. It was all there.
Oh
for
yeah.
you.
And my brother was like substantially older than I was, so he was just all like, "Yeah, here you go." And my parents also like just didn't really care. They would just I'd just say like, "Rent this," and they'd be like, "Yeah." They would send me
Yep.
like some pretty freaky anime because they're like, "It's a cartoon." I'm like, "That is no cartoon that I have watched before." But yeah, I remember watching Aliens about a year after it came out, and I was like, I saw Bishop split in two. I'm like, "Are we all made of milk?" Like I just didn't quite understand what was going on.
Retro Days purchased the Hot Toys Sideshow id 209, and every other version seems cheap. I mean, I think this is NECA, so I'd be afraid of it falling apart out of the box,
Mhm.
That's interesting.
like someone's Murder She Wrote.
Oh, Fletcher is glued together. You cannot touch her.
That
All right.
plastic is terrifying. Oh, there's a
So NECA's plastic, yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oof.
Like, oh, there goes my dog.
I heard a dog.
I was like, what?
Okay, so what we like to do on the show, we like lists, we like countdowns, and one of the first shows that Victor and I did is we went through our top 10. What were the toys that made us? Because I think that shaped really our collecting style now. And since you are our first guest, I think this might be, maybe we'll do this like a tradition whenever we have someone on, is that we want to learn, like, who are you as a collector? Like, how did you get here? Right. So I asked you to give me your top 10. What we're going to do is just kind of go through our top 10 real quickly, but we're going to break it up. So we'll talk about our top 5 first, then we'll get into we'll talk about our top 10 through 6. Then we'll get into
What's
yours.
going on? What's going on here?
Math. What?
Happening? What are we doing?
Remove the no, I don't know. This way it kind of we'll see what our similarities are. You said something at the beginning. I do think you are probably in between Victor's collecting taste and mine, because I noticed when I was putting this together. So I think we'll see a lot of similarities. So when we first did that over 21 episodes ago, this was Victor's top 5. You want to give us a run through, Victor?
Sure. So toys that growing up. Now, there were obviously greater toys that I collect. I don't collect any of these, but these are the toys that I grew up with. Anything from Lincoln Logs. It wasn't I liked the Lego, but Lincoln Logs was a lot more fun. I also was a Western kid for some reason, loving the Lone Ranger. And those Playmobil characters were something as a kid I could do anything with. Very similar to the Fisher Price Adventure people. The Playmobil could just be anything. So I liked I even did have the Stagecoach. It was odd in the late 70s. My two brothers above me, we all had the very, very large Shogun Warriors, they were called, which was, I can never say his name right. This tall guy, he had missiles that came out of his fingers. Obviously, when I was very young, I loved the Fisher Price little people, what we called round people. When I was a kid, we called them round people. Yep. The castle, we even had the yacht, we had the farm. So all those things were around us all the time. And then as I get older, different action figures from Buck Rogers and Battlestar Galactica, and then right into Star Wars and He-Man and G.I. Joe. So those, this is just a little snippet, but those are the things that got me going, loved toys, created my imagination, and kept me going.
And yeah, the little people especially, like, love them. Like, just we had a garage. It was like, and it's really toddlery and dinky and whatever. But I mean, like those 5 characters are iconic. If you're of a certain age, we were just all like the warm fuzzies whenever I see your smiling faces.
So.
But the new ones they're making now are they know adults are buying them. Like what kid is buying a Seinfeld pack or a Friends pack?
You're
Right.
right.
I have every Ninja Turtle one.
The Friends coffee shop around.
Yeah.
It's
But
kind of
what's
like Polly
cool,
Pocket going into like really, going to Bridgerton sets. You're like, who is this for?
right?
Exactly.
It is funny though that you pick these, Tom. It's like I forgot that episode because I'm looking, going, gosh, He-Man, Transformers, and G.I. Joe, my favorite franchises, aren't here. But this is, of course, as a child, because I had the KFC playset, I had the McDonald's playset, and I had the Holiday Inn playset. So I do remember as a kid a lot of great toys that all over the board, and it just got me stuck, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what is cool about kind of the generational divide is that I've had Lincoln Logs, Playmobil, Little People, but like I always kind of learn what you had probably like earlier on. I did not know much about Battlestar Galactica or Shogun Warriors, so that's that. I think that's kind of the yin and yang. Where I think Andrew, your tastes are definitely in between. My first, I guess, my top 10 through 6, if I'm mathing here, these were like major toy lines that I think I really got started with. So Ghostbusters, obviously a big real Ghostbusters fan. The Slimed Heroes were my favorite because that was the first time they did introduce Tully. It's kind of why I asked. But Dick Tracy, colorful. They were the same size as Turtles. Love that. And then there wasn't much adventure action figures at the time. Like Western stuff was kind of, out. So when this movie came out, which I don't remember if it was a hit or not, we loved watching it. But Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves gave us some great, medieval era figures, and then it came out around the same time. Brian, was it Brian Adams? Amazing.
Oh yeah.
I
Couldn't escape him
love
all summer.
I loved Hook as a movie. I know Victor also.
I thought that was Men in Tights.
Shut up.
Hook is such a bad movie.
It's a great
so
movie.
bad. It's so bad.
It is a fantastic movie.
All right.
But I would play with these figures together. So like those toy lines kind of coincided. And then here's the big divide, I think. I'm curious to know where you stand, but I love the neon 90s G.I. Joe and 90s neon everything. So Ninja Force, G.I. Joe, but I loved all the older G.I. Joe stuff too. So, but I will say if I had to go back and collect like one whole subline, it would be Ninja Force.
I got to ask you, Thomas, though, why did you not put my Transformer G.I. Joe He-Man on?
Well, you don't listen. I said we are doing our top 10 through 6 first.
Thank you, because I felt really jilted, especially because you had this big ass mutated Warren Beatty here, and I'm like, why? Where's my stuff?
Because this is a recap. We have a guest. Our guest is going to go through there.
Like
someone here. I'm ruining everything.
We are just feeling context.
It's so funny because I think we're all within like almost like 5-year spans kind of thing. Because I was still Ghostbusters were kind of okay for me, but like by the time we got to these others, I was too old. I was still buying stuff, but I was too old for these toys. That said, my G.I. Joe is probably just past Victor's, where it's like the kind of looser dress code, a little more sci-fi, but not neon 90s kind of thing.
Looser dress code, I like that.
Yeah, where it's like everyone's got a pet. Like it's that's my G.I. Joe. That's sweet spot.
I'd say
that said, I was reading G.I. Joe comics and the Ninja Force rebrand. I was like, okay, like they went real hard in those comics. Like it was really so. Like I actually do have a sweet spot for this, and it was the first time we got a Scarlet, like a good Scarlet figure, more or less.
Are you saying the green one with the red rooted hair is a good Scarlet?
Oh yeah, well the head sculpt's good. If you pop that off and put it on the original, perfect Scarlet, perfect vintage Scarlet.
Because
not the hips.
Horrible.
Oh, she had the 90s long butt. Oh, it was so good, like that Psylocke kind of thing.
Long butt.
Well, they put the kicking action in. I have the Chun-Li because they use that body for Chun-Li from Street Fighter, and it had a kicking action. That's why they had to make her hips so big.
Of course.
That's why.
Yeah. It wasn't for birthing at all.
Anyway, that was a quick recap of our 10 through 6, and I'm glad none of us gave away our 5 through 1.
What are you talking
about? So now we're going to get into our guest of honors top 10, and we will go from 10 through 6, break, go through our 5 through 1, and then finish the rest with
I understand Andrew. Now.
Oh god. All right, Andrew, we're gonna kick us off. This is at your top 10 list. Hopefully I got everything in order. So
all right,
take it away.
So I mean He-Man's gonna appear a couple times here, and frankly right now classics is the He-Man collection I have. Like I sort of got in early-ish. I was doing a nerd blog at the time, and they did the Adora figure specifically. I was like, well, they never made her. Let me pick one up and see how it is. And then I fell in love with it. And I was like, I
She's
have
so good.
a problem. And the early women in that line, like Tila, Evelyn, Adora, spectacular. Got a little rocky near the end, but yeah, this is literally like the anchor of my shelves back here. I mean, I have so many of them. I wish they went longer, but I mean, this is my He-Man line, frankly. I had all the vintage ones, but this is sort of the one that I keep now. So every time there's new lines, every 2 years, it feels like I'm like, I don't care. I'm out of this game. I've got other fish to fry.
When did this line sunset?
2012? No, that seems actually maybe. It's been a while. Like, I mean, these are now vintage. Like that's how
Odd.
time
When
works, I
Classics
guess.
came out, I was like, finally, a beautiful, realistic reproduction of, and they did everybody. I mean, they did Pika Blue and
Yeah.
Flood Arena in She-Ra. So, but I think 2010, 2011.
Yeah, it went through like kind of definitely the 2010s, like and it went for quite some time. Like, I mean, it was a monthly subscription. They definitely
They
started
covered
stacking
it
it near the
all.
end, but like they covered everybody. And you got like new adventures. You got like a lot of wackadoo stuff. So
Now,
great line.
are you a completionist with this line? You have everything?
I don't think I could. I mean, I was like making, I don't know, not great money at the time. So like I was like, you just couldn't. I had like sort of like the monthly subscription. These were very expensive. The articulation is very much of the time, the thing that Four Horsemen still kind of, and Super 7, frankly, they all still model their bucks after this. But yeah, no, I mean, I was really like, I wanted the vintage collection. I wanted some main characters, like I got like Seahawk and Evil Seed and some characters like that.
Seahawk
Like,
was
but beyond that, I'm like, we're getting the heavies because they
There
also
was-
take up an absurd amount of room.
There were over 210 of these individual.
And I'm not buying them.
Yeah.
And vehicles and play sets, and Super 7 continued it. So like it just kept going. Like,
I don't know much about Masters of the Universe. Those two dragons, are those still highly coveted because they haven't remade those yet?
yeah. It's the same character, but like mini comic versus cartoon colors, and they're mine's shattered.
Are we talking
during
Granomir?
the move here? Yeah.
Okay.
And he's tall, like he can stand on his feet, like he can like reach into my fridge. Like he's a tall boy.
He was a well-made character for that cartoon. I thought he was very cool.
Greetings, Allison.
Howdy.
Hello.
What's his name? I don't know his name.
Granomir.
Oh, I always thought it looked cool, but I just didn't know what it was.
Yeah, his leg shattered like a NECA toy, basically, and I was like,
No.
like I hung on as long as I could, but it started to flake apart, and I said, okay, that's to the
So,
recycling
Andrew,
bin you go.
I have to ask you, since this is the toys that made you, so this isn't obviously something, is it something you played with as a kid, or is this truly what got you? You're saying that the Masters Classics are what kind of got you to collect?
Yeah,
What
so
is
here's the thing. I mean, like when you kind of pose the question, I spun into like my favorite franchises. Then I'm like, no, like what actually like made me the collector I am today? And this
Okay.
was like, there was sort of a bit of a dark time during like the early 2000s where people were kind of like, the big brands weren't really getting much love. Like we weren't getting a good G.I. Joe line. We weren't getting Transformers was very movie based. There wasn't, the fervor there is now. And when this came out, I was like, oh, baby, like this is it. And this pretty much sprung my adult collecting. Like everything has sort of spiraled out of this since.
Ooh, a drink got delivered to me. Hey.
magically?
Yeah, I forgot to tell you to bring a drink, but I have one brought to me.
This is not water.
I felt the same way. I mean, I'm sure we all felt the same way, Turtle fans, that we were just getting nothing at Turtles. And as a huge Turtles fan now, I'm kind of getting sick of Turtles, which
it's
much.
It's
I
too
say
much.
that, and then I'll probably buy all those G.I. Joe crossovers. So
I
Then
definitely
move
want
on
those,
to-
but at the same time, like I do hope that Mattel kind of reins it in a little bit because I feel like, I mean, I have a Turtles license. I just put up my hand at a conference one, and they were like, "Here you go." I'm like, "What am I going to do with?" Like everyone has a Turtle brand. Like, everyone
I know
has
what
a
you can do.
for it, so
I know exactly what you can do.
burn it.
Nope. I think Victor might have heard me say this, but back in the day, I don't know what year, Victor can probably fill us in. Walt Disney World had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle show.
Oh yeah.
I want that. Those are the last. No, I say that they're not the last set of turtles I want. But if we can get figures of
I was gonna say Disney just took you down.
You have
these turtles,
oh, you do have a photo. You that was
Oh, Lordy.
1990. They came and started performing a show there for about 5 or so years.
if you have the license, please make these.
Make those.
They were very on brand for the marketing, like for the Turtles cookies, and like they definitely had that look of the sort of just general marketing Turtles. Yeah, we're back to He-Man again. This is another thing that sort of, again, He-Man shows up a lot here, but he came out 2002. I was sort of like fresh-ish out of college in the workforce kind of thing. And again, like these were like the dark times. There were no good like toy lines for adults yet. And this was, again, one of those first ones that came where I was like, it was very anime. It was very of its time. Very, very of its time. But I mean, I love this. The cartoon was so good. Cartoon was so good. And I just picked a bunch of these up again recently, and I'm like, it's of its time, but I love them.
So this is great. I had every single one of these action figures, including the staction figures at the end. I loved when they coined that word to get Clawful, Jitsu, Mosquitor, Grizzlor. Yep. I had the staction figures because I said, do not end this line. And they ended it and they made staction figures. I got them all. I loved them and I loved the cartoon, but ultimately I didn't like, and Thomas has heard me say this. Remember Triclops, his legs were set in a pose of like kind of lunging forward. And I do not like pre-posed figures. Like I must always be standing with a lunge. And I was like, I wasn't a big fan. This is how I got back in to collecting really, and sold every single one of them and waited till the perfect thing came. And it was Origins for me, but I wanted classics.
Yeah, classic. I mean, Origins, I remember I got a few early on. And I was like, nope, I can't do this again.
Yeah.
Hard again.
Let's start.
But I mean, like, even of the time, look at the wash on the figures. I like the pre-post stuff, but he has a little bit of a hunch to him, like looking at Skeletor.
Yeah.
I remember seeing these and thinking they were cool, but again, never a Masters fan, but a collector. But no, these are pretty cool. All right.
Ooh, Power of the Force. So this is, again, one of those things. I was probably maybe high school, university when these came out. And again, like, I never really stopped collecting. But when these came out, especially that first wave of just Fugbo, buff, roided out Star Wars character, I mean, like, it just lit a fire. And it was funny too, like, this is probably the first time where I actually had like sort of like adult friends who were also like, we would go to other towns, to other Walmarts looking for these. We're like, oh, there's the Boba Fett with the 3 circles or whatever stupid variant. I mean, we were all in. We were like on early days of internet trying to find, what's coming. And this was very, like, again, a very specific moment in time where Star Wars was finally back after a huge hiatus, but also like sort of one of the, maybe not one of the first, but I mean, certainly like, a real explosion of the adult collector phenom that we're still, clearly enjoying today.
And one of the best things about Power of the Force 2 is that, what year did it come out? 96, 97?
I was like 95.
Or 95? These figures stayed on shelves for years. Like they stayed on shelves throughout episode 1, episode 2, episode 3. So if you're going into the store to pick up a Star Wars figure and like, oh, there's an old one that you didn't get. Like I remember going into Toys R Us and half of the Star Wars display would be those older figures. So these guys had a shelf life that lasted longer than I think most toy lines.
This might have been the last toy line to do that though, because back in that was amazing. Because that in the 80s, rows and rows and rows and loads toy shelves were full, but you didn't see that. But Power of Force, I even remember, and I didn't collect them, they were loads on shelves.
Yep. And I mean, on top of that, like the line evolved. Like this was the Kickstarter, and it went under, Power of the Jedi, and eventually we'll go to Saga and all stuff. And I mean, this is the reason we have every conceivable Canteen alien, both on screen and off, that you could imagine. Like it all sort of spawned out of this. So I mean, like as much as we complain now about Black Series not going deep, I mean, everything that came after Power of the Force, they're like, remember the orange dude with the ice cream maker and Bespin? We're like, yeah, like give me 5.
Like I went and it was from the Star Wars. I forgot the subline it was a blue card back. It was made in between episode 2 and 3, but I went back and bought Elfont Man. And I'm like, you're never gonna get that character in Black Series.
And I mean, and he's a little expensive now because he's like hard to find.
He was a little expensive. All right, no, I'm a huge Power of the Force 2 collector. Again, like I'll still go back and collect from this line because it's always on shelf. So you're always gonna leave a store with something if you go and pick one of these.
Still cheap because they made them in bulk. I mean, it's sort of like another one we'll talk about soon. But I mean, you can still pick them up for like $4. Like, pretty much cost.
All right, let's see. I think this is your number 8. So moving on to number 7.
I mean, very similar.
Hopefully you guys see the
Thomas Riker. Blasphemy. With the little painted over, ripped up shirt from the first Riker. Oh god. Oh god. Yeah, Star Trek was another one of those ones where again I was too old to buy these, but this is what really kind of got me into Star Trek. So I remember picking up the Counselor Troy figure, who was a dog, but like on the back of the file card it said like, you know, she and Riker had some love tryst and now they're working together, and I was like, drama on the bridge, you say? And this is what got me into Star Trek. And so I started buying these figures, and again they had like little numbers on the feet, so like it was again that kind of proto adult collectible. Like they knew what they were doing. Playmates coming off of Ninja Turtles, really kind of like, you know, they landed, you know, they landed a good for license as opposed to now. but they this was great. And again too, as like, you know, if you know me, they would do 2-3 women away if they didn't care. Like they were like, we've got Ninja Turtles, buddy. Like we can take the risk. We'll do all the characters we want because we don't care. We don't care. We're rich. So yeah, it was welcome reprieve from the dark ages.
This is a topic we don't talk about much. Star Trek isn't something he or I either talk about, and yet I am a huge fan of Star Trek movies. And yet, as emotionally connected I am, I have never collected one. Now, I did have Star Trek the Motion Picture action figures, but I never collected any. You know, they looked their face sculpts were pretty good. Ilea, she looked pretty good. She had some birth and hips too, but I never collected any other Star Trek ever. And I look at these and I'm like, you know, I can see that's Riker, but he's still goofy looking.
The proportions were very cartoonish, and like the head sculpts were pretty good. But it definitely was, you know, cartoonish. I had the bridge, which is also an incredible playset.
The bridge of this?
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
that said, I mean, Nacelle's doing Star Trek now, and I'm still on the fence until I get one in hand. But I've got one figure from the first wave. We'll see how it goes, kind of thing. But already I'm stressed because there's a lot I want to buy. But yeah, specifically for the movies, they're definitely going Wrath of Khan way, and I was like, that's the one. Like, that's the one I'm gonna buy.
Is Andrew wearing a vintage Gumby shirt, or is that a new release?
I think it's new, but it's meant to be vintage.
Yeah, you know, that's a funny point someone asked. Shirts like this, like he's wearing, when we were kids, you might find a character shirt like ET or something, but they weren't made in adult size. So this is definitely retro designs on distressed shirts, because hell no. I mean, I don't know about you, Andrew, but I couldn't fit in a child size ET or Gumby shirt.
No, even in my Death Twink days, there's no way I could fit into anything like that. Like, yeah, where I didn't need to do some other things that made me very skinny. Let's just say.
Me too, Victor. I've only had the top cards from the 80s. Wait, Nacelle is doing Star Trek. Yeah.
Yep. Any day now. Actually, they're finally shipping the first wave. And they're doing waves of wackadoo characters that were never made, and then they do like a bridge wave, like a main character wave kind of thing. So it's a lot of weirdos. But it's kind of fun to watch like what they're going to do next.
I actually was going to put a slide on with them and I forgot. So Retro Days, I would have had that picture for you. My two little tidbits about Star Trek is I do want to go back and watch it now, like Next Generation, and
classic.
I just remember it being on like Sundays at my grandparents' house for dinner, and then I wouldn't like I just associate it with, oh, it's the day before school and this is like what my grandparents have on, so I never watched it. I hear everyone loves it, and it is a lot to go back and rewatch, but my
It
more
is.
modern day,
It's vast.
not a
now.
memory, just like there's a toy store that Victor and I are like, it's kind of in between us, and every time we go, there is a Star Trek aisle, and I am so tempted to buy the Whoopi Goldberg toy. Just
Oh, I know, just to have a whoopee.
it's just sitting there. It's been
Dining.
sitting there all the time, and I'm
like a
just
siren.
I know exactly where it is. I know it's gonna be there every time I visit that toy store. So
Yep.
No one's buying it.
I might pick up the TNG Pirates.
Mhm.
The
It's
next
like
generation.
Star Trek's one of
pirate-
those ones.
Did they release the
I'm trying to
Pirates?
think not in Playmates, no. Are you talking the McKee or the? I don't know. I know Scott. I'm going to talk to him later. Yeah, but I mean, this was a fun line. And again, too, this is like when I think about the journey, like the actual like toy collector journey. I mean, I was like, my folks were very much, we weren't poor, but we were not rich, kind of thing. So like they were kind of like every time there's a toy line, especially in the 80s when there was like 4, toy lines pumping out every month. They were like, no, we'll go hard on one, but just one. And yeah, when Star Trek came out, I was like, this is it. This is my personality now. Like, get on board.
That is such a great story. Like, I love that. My parents did the same thing. I think there were 2 toy lines they would go in for, but I love that is now your personality. That's who you are.
Completely. Yep.
Nacelle is doing all the characters from when they were on the old times ships.
I guess the
Old-time
90s.
ships?
Yeah, so
the
Nacelle,
original?
there's a different company that does the newer Trek figures, and then Nacelle does the 60s through till 2000
Is
era.
that called the OG? Don't they, the original series, the
Yep.
the TOS, the original series TOS. I think that's what it's called.
Yep. With the 60s hairdos and the mini skirts.
And mini skirts.
Love it. All right. This is a line
X-Men.
that's near and dear to my heart, so I'm excited to hear you talk about it.
Yeah, I was reading X-Men comics probably like the Outback era. And it was a bit of a dark turn for the X-Men, but it was really like, fun and sexy at the time kind of thing. And I was like, I really got involved in it. And of course, 1991, there was the big reboot kind of thing where everyone kind of got on board. And that's around the time these started showing up. And so it was just this perfect storm. And again, one of those things where, a few lines at the time I was really in, but this felt, cool. Like I was a teenager basically. And I'm like, these are like cool adult toys. This is like, I could, date and smoke and still buy toys and be cool. It's fine.
This was just a line like coming in like the early to mid 90s where there was so much stuff coming out at the time that had all these extra added gimmicks, and like they weren't what you saw on screen or on paper. And these
or even the same
figures came
family.
out-
Like some of the accessories, you're like, what is like this doesn't even belong with the character. Like, what is it?
some of like the one that came with Juggernaut was weird, but their gimmicks made sense for the most part.
the most
But
part.
I did feel like I was playing with what you read on page or saw on screen.
Mhm.
These look a lot like LJN's original Thundercats. They have that bulky,
No.
smooth.
Well, maybe
They
smaller.
look exactly like those bulky, simple character lines.
I
Now,
think it's
they
just
did
The
that-
first wave. Yeah.
The first wave.
Yeah. They Toy Biz kind of famously had the DC license for like 10 minutes when
Yeah.
they did the Batman 89 line, and then DC was like, what have you done? And they snatched it back. But then Toy Biz also had Marvel, and this is sort of like they were very new. I think they were very, kind of like built on hype and hope and false promises kind of thing. So this is sort of their first real foray into making action figures that weren't just rip-offs of superpowers. So this was their first kind of try, and then you could see them evolve, like
Yeah.
even year by year. Like they just kept getting better. And then like on top of that, if you buy this wave, between this and the last wave, I mean it's 3 or 4 different lines of toys. They're all different scales, different styles. Like it's kind of it's a wild evolution.
Yeah, but I mean, like just in this set alone, Storm had a light up lightning bolt, Cyclops had the light up visor, so they were doing cool stuff back then. Like, I
Yep.
definitely an improvement from their Batman line, except the Batman line did give us Bob.
You love
Wonky
Bob.
proportions and wild colors,
Oh yeah.
but not LJN proportions.
I'm saying I didn't know what the purport. Yeah, the first wave of Thundercats, although they didn't have bendable knees, had this undefined, simple paint job of just it looks barrel chested and lug like. So yeah,
Yeah, like
it's
Wolvie's torso right there, kind of it's got Lion-O vibes. Like it's
It
just
totally
a
is
big
Lion-O
chunk. Like
chonk.
Retro Days is talking about the transforming Punisher that turns
Oh,
into a dick rocket.
Yes.
oh yeah.
So that's actually on the last video I just did, and I must say, like you guys with big followings, I didn't expect when more people follow you, the more crazies come out. Holy
yeah.
shit!
Yeah, that comes
Holy
with it.
shit! Like on that list of figures I talk about on the video, there's a figure that is it has the I don't even know if I say it if I get in trouble, but the German soldier symbol on it, and some guy was like, if you don't like that symbol, it's basically like give me the riot act for like saying it shouldn't be on a toy. And I was like, damn, how do you guys deal with? I'm not used to these guys.
I generally give it back.
Well,
and hope they leave.
I will try never to delete a comment, but some I think were just like too. There were some that were getting a little, and I'm like, nope, not having it. So
Some people want the last word anyway, but I like to give it back to them often, and then just never reply again. I mean,
well,
whatever.
so I looked it up when you like hide someone. It's hilarious because like they can keep commenting into the ether, and like no one will ever see it.
Yeah,
I did
like,
that.
Go ahead, like scream into the night all you want. Yeah. I'm not big enough to get too many crazies. My thing was I was kind of coming in, especially with the name like Gayties Toys, I was kind of coming in bracing for a certain audience to come at me. But it's like it was actually like more the thirsty messages that I was like, oh, I wasn't prepared for that. I don't know how to react to that.
That
Very
is so
uncomfortable.
Gayties, that's funny.
It's
It's been a
just-
while, but people do come out you with like something about your eyes, or you're like, oh my. People are actually.
Yeah, this isn't Grinder.
This is not
Grindr.
a dating site. This is not a site.
Well, what I thought would be funny, is maybe instead of starting the show directly into pickups or toy news, we go through some of the funniest comments we've gotten all weekend. Like last week, I got one that said I have stupid hair, so that was awesome.
You've been really you've been upset about that for a while now, haven't you?
Yes, I heard that.
Andrew, our wife says hi.
Oh, hi. My American wife. My wife.
That Storm was my first action figure.
That's wow.
Cool.
First
wow.
action figure.
I think I read that one already. Who you calling crazy? I'm going to Google. You catch a flight and wait outside of your house for. Is that in reference to anything?
It is reference to the German symbol story.
Oh God,
The crazies.
yelling at the cloud. That's right.
Mhm.
Buckle up, Buttercup. It's going to be.
It's about to go Grinder.
Your hair offends me, Thomas.
It offends me, but that's because I'm going bald. So that's why I hate Thomas's hair.
Like, geez. Anyways, I think this is number 6, which means now, Victor, you can talk
okay.
about your top 5.
I think I said them all, but yeah. So in our top 10 originally, although those are my very youthful ones, these are what I really got into as a young person. He-Man definitely turned my life around. He did. He's a toy that changed me. G.I. Joe did the same thing, and Snow Job was my first G.I. Joe. So I didn't really catch on. I got He-Man first, and I caught back up with G.I. Joe. Transformers I got the minute they came out. I tell this great story of this kid who came back from Japan to my school. He had Megatron in a box that had Japanese writing. I'm like, what's that? And he told me what it did, and it blew my mind. It blew my mind, and I was like, I need it. I had already had the Fisher Price Adventure people. Now, reminding everybody that I have 10 siblings above me. I had so many toys from my brothers. That's why Big Jim and Fisher, those things were in my life. So was the original G.I. Joe, the 12-inch. But I was there for the first Star Wars. So that was 78. I definitely was getting those the first run. And there's nothing that really beats that retro look. I mean, although I do collect some vintage, I do have the Jabba's Palace in the vintage line now, but I love those old characters. So these are my 5. These are my favorite franchises made famous in the 80s, as I say, and they did change my life. Cry.
Even
Yeah,
though
these
you
were the
gave,
top dogs. I mean, this was
except that
the holy
cowboy.
trinity.
Except that cowboy.
Yeah, screw him.
Wait, we almost did an entire show on mustached GI Joes, and not by planning it. So this is pretty cool.
Oh, we did. That was fun. Well,
It is an all-star cast, absolutely. Now, this is because I got older. Where, although I loved Mask and I really did like Thundercats, I was fading out, or I was told to fade out, or I was told you're not getting any more toys.
Yep.
You can't. You're too old. You know, that thing happened. And I remember buying my last Mask and being like, I can't show my mom. You know, I didn't want her to know.
It's like buying porn. You're like, shit.
Yes, I think she saw it and she was disappointed, but that was the era. So that's why it took me many, many years until the new He-Man came out. And I was like, oh my God, I need to get that.
The toys that made Victor, even though we already knew about it from the beginning. Good stuff.
Spoiled. All right, yours.
Oh, dang. Skipped over. Okay.
I know
Spoiler.
Bucky's coming.
So these were my top 5 when I did the list. So I'm glad you mentioned the old Toy Biz X-Men line. Gambit was my guy.
That
And
horrible coat.
I know I usually took it off, but Batman, just any line, because we were eating pretty good back in the 90s because you had the last remaining superpowers. Then we got the movie figures from Toy Biz, from Kenner. Then you got animated series, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, Dark Knight Collect, like all these sub lines of Batman.
Yeah.
It was just such a good time to be a Batman collector. Any mini playset, I think, was very influential to me. Just
You
loving.
are a big fan of those. Those are so you.
I love mini playsets. And you know, Mighty Max, X-Men, Batman, Turtles, Star Wars. They just made them for everything. And then my Star Wars collecting, talked about Power of the Force 2 already, but I have a pretty like interesting timeline in terms of like I remember certain things. So Phantom Menace around that era was when I stopped playing with toys. Around Attack of the Clones is when I started buying toys, but it's displaying them. And then by episode 3, I was just buying them, keeping them in package. And throughout that whole time, I was buying, you know, trilogy figures. So it's just fun. And then after episode 3, that's when I completely stopped collecting everything. Until recently, now I have an addiction. And then Turtles, of course, have just been the constant. Not just the original line, but the 2003 line. I collected a bunch from there. Took a huge hiatus up until NECA released their movie Turtles. So that's where I got to where I am today. So,
Thomas, this is interesting. I never really, when you said something, first and foremost, I love that we both have this Star Wars thing, but notice how I have that 77 through 83 and you have definitely this 90s look, which I love. There's that similarity, but totally a decade apart. But the other thing is what you said about you stopped playing with toys. A year later, you started collecting toys. And what a different world you lived in, because mine was you cannot touch another toy. 2, I am so an adult, have a career, live in Florida, have a house, and live in this life going, I think I'll start collecting. So between that, I would keep up, I'd look, but I can't believe you had such a short span between time you put toys away to collecting them. You never put them away.
no, but I did tell you that the day I stopped playing with action figures was 9/12/2001, the day after 9/11.
Yes, I remember that story. Good story.
Because we had off of school and because of everything. And I remember like, oh, okay, I guess I'm gonna stay home and set up my stuff. And I set everything up. And at the end of it, I was like, I don't feel like playing. And that was the last time I played with toys.
That deserves a book, a short story, or some mini series. That is
You're like the day my childhood died. Like God.
My B team included Mass, Thundercats, GoBots, and Warlord. That's some good stuff.
Warlord.
Yeah, well, I don't hear Warlord too often. Which stuffed toy did each of you have from Get Along Gang? And my favorite,
Get Along Gang, Zipper.
I used to have Zipper.
Oh,
Cat.
wow.
Zipper the cat with the short shorts. Hot. So
I loved Montgomery Moose. I did.
I have no idea what we're talking about.
Oh, that's I
Get
love.
Along
Thank
Gang.
you, Quentin. So, Get Along Gang, which was a card. I don't know if it's American Greetings or Hallmark, but it was a it was a greeting card that became a toy and a cartoon series. And I did like Moose. But my favorite monster, I know the name, but I can't even place anything. Anyone?
Oh, I know what
Andrew?
these are. I had little rubber slugs of these. I never had a stuffed animal. Like those little rubber like
Yeah.
toys that you get. And then
I think
what is-
like
My favorite monster.
is it Monster in My Pocket or My Favorite Monster?
I had monsters in my pocket for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see.
My God, I wrote a comment to Retro Days and I just got YouTube rejected your comment. They think it's spam.
Ooh.
All I said are, you are up my alley for toys. I don't know did they read that the wrong way?
Victor, you have a mic. Just just respond to the comment. You don't have to type it.
Well, sometimes I do because you skip it and I'm just writing to him, but that's all right.
I will not quit. It's compulsion, damn it. My favorite, my pet monster.
My pet monster.
Oh, right.
We don't know.
The blue
My
one.
favorite
Don't know.
monster or
The
my
main
pet
one.
monster?
I didn't have it.
I guess I
Main
don't
guy with
have
the
one
orange
because they're
manacles.
not coming to my mind. I have no idea.
Let us know what you meant. But we're gonna move on to
My
Andrew's
favorite
number
monster.
5.
Oh, and Victor's getting sleepy, so I'm gonna have to burn through these. But
Yeah. Getting late, very people.
you're like, look at the time. Yeah, no, this is the one that radicalized me. This is why I did my channel, because
Radical.
you can see her in all those pictures except for the bottom one. And Jenny was slated. She was an incredible figure, though, slated to be in Wave 1. She had like vac metal armor. She was awesome. And then they yanked her last minute. And this is what I'm like, okay. Like, I love Bucky. I was reading the comics long before the cartoon came around. Hasbro famously passed on Turtles for Bucky.
Oh.
They had huge plans. There was a lot. I mean, I love Bucky O'Hare, but yeah, that was the first shot. That was the first line in the sand for me. I'm like, you didn't make Jenny's.
I'd like to applaud that between Thomas and I, Bucky has never come up. So way to go, Andrew.
Read the old comics. They're really good.
Totally new for
I think
our
the comics
channel.
are Larry Hama, no?
Larry Hama and Michael Golden art is
really?
beautiful. Yep. It's a gorgeous book. And really, and Larry Hama was very like sardonic, we'll say, like in ways that he wasn't allowed to be on G.I. Joe kind of thing. He was very like, kind of world weary.
Yeah, I can't talk to Victor about things like Bucky O'Hare, so I'm glad you're here to talk about him.
There you go. I'm like, Bucky means nothing to me.
He's trash.
Rubbish.
The neon green rabbit, he's awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Move on. No, just kidding.
Now, would you have wanted I forgot the name of the girl character. Would you wanted her hair rooted or like molded plastic?
I think molded. I'm still very much. I mean, I bought the TLS gem dolls recently, and I'm all like, I'm not a doll person because I can barely do my own hair. I cannot be responsible for a doll's hair. So like, no, just no. I'm good.
I had collected the 2013 the gem dolls that were really beautiful. You know the
oh yeah, the expensive integrity toys. Yeah,
expensive in their hair. I'm like, why do I have these? Like I wanted them.
I had a
like,
few.
This and I had them on my shelf for a couple of years, and I was like, this is too much. Sold them all.
I was terrified to pick them up because they had like microscopic accessories, and I was like, I should not have these. I'm not allowed. I'm not
for lots of money, so it was nice.
Well, yeah, I did that too. Turtles was very again, part of that transition where I probably went from toy player to collector. These are very still much very playthings kind of thing. But I was like, I love Turtles. Everyone was still we were young enough to like appreciate the cartoon, at least the first season or two before it got weird. But certainly like that's when we were seeing the you're too old for this, and it's time to retire the old toy collection. And I was like, but this is very much that transition where we went from like the 80s, and then like Turtles hit, and all of a sudden you started getting the Bucky O'Hares, the Cowboys of Mumisa, all the knockoffs of that. So this was, I mean, and again too, like seismic. Turtles was a seismic thing, the same way that like Star Wars was, the same way that like He-Man was. Like this was such a huge shift in the entire industry, and Playmates came out of nowhere with this. So important for me for historical reasons mostly.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't remember a time like being alive where I don't remember like Turtles were just like in my life probably from day one. I've actually the show debuted the day before I was born.
Oh my god.
That's right. December 28th, 1988. 1987. 1987. Yeah, obviously kind of a turtle guy, I guess. And I say I get sick of it, but I'm not. I'll keep buying stuff.
You'll never get sick of it.
Bucky should have been a bigger line by far.
I agree.
I
have a lot of prototypes, like images, like people from like the Bucky verse, like the Golden, like Michael Golden, all them. Like I've gotten like images of like figures and characters that were meant to be in the long haul, and I mean, like, and it's fun. Like it actually puts some of the turtle stuff to shame, where they went weird and wild, and it was very much in that same vein. So, well, could have been, but
Beast Kingdom did a few figures, but I don't think they're going anywhere. Like, would you want, like, is that something you think Nacelle could do properly?
I mean, I think it was Boss Fight did some incredible ones a couple years ago, and then the actual license holder yanked it back for reasons we don't know. But Boss Fight's actually still very hungry to keep the line going, and I would love for them to do the same. Like, I'd keep going buying them.
Sorry, My Pet Monster. I thought there was only one. Was there more than one?
I think there was like a few others, like
My Pet Monster.
Like his like his villain, or yeah. And and Bucky was created as a response to Star Wars, not Ninja Turtles. Like he was created in 79, I want to say. Like he's a far older thing than people kind of realize.
Would love to see a crossover Toyline TMNT and Rainbow. I mean,
the rainbow's there. Look at it. It's right there.
It's probably coming. Who knows? That April. It was a fine April figure, except for the loose, like the legs were just always, she couldn't stand for shit.
Except she was loose?
No.
What?
Yeah.
She's having issues downstairs. Yeah, again, what's with the birthing hips? I'm not saying.
Just a hallway, no walls.
Oh God.
I will say to April though, like she's in that Playmates vein where like you had Toy Biz kind of refusing to make female X-Men. You had, like that. It was the no women rule of like the late 80s kind of thing. Playmates was like, do you want April O'Neil? Here's 12. Like, we don't care. Like, we will pump them out twice a year. Like they made so many.
And we only got one Irma, which is crap.
That is crazy.
I know. And in the bad colors. This is another one. I mean, I love this line. It's one of the vintage lines I have, and the one that I buy a lot of customs for are the ones that I buy a few McFarlane figures of. Like anytime I can build this world, I'm down. Like it's just to this day the perfect DC line that was cut short too early.
Andrew, when did this come out first? Do you remember?
84.
And I remember the commercials. As you can tell, and Thomas probably knows, I never talk. I don't have any superhero toys like DC or anything like that. But I did secretly like, God, I want these. And so when you say custom, do you get some that of characters they've created that were never made? You get some good ones.
Yeah. I mean, of course, like the women kind of thing, but it's like anytime, like I've got a sort of a mental image of like, especially like the 80s, especially the style guide that all these designs and all these like kind of character selections came from. Trying to build that out. So anytime there is like I can find, the Atom or Black Canary or Batgirl or whoever, I'm like, throw it in. And if someone makes it in the future, great. But in the meantime, I'm like, this is the DC universe at that time, and I want to sort of build that out.
Victor, you didn't have any of these?
No, I read comics on occasion, but truly I loved Archie comics. I didn't read superhero comics. I would occasionally pick one up and read one, Spider-Man mostly, but I didn't read comics unless they were a Transformer comic, which I did read a lot of. I read lots of those. But no, I loved Superman. The Superman movie was one of my favorite in 79. But I just didn't collect superheroes. There was nothing about them. But I'd see this commercial and I loved how they moved. I loved their action feature and was like, damn, I can't start another thing because I'm busy with others. So
yeah, that's the problem too. There's too many things at this time.
Too many things in the early 80s.
We only had, I think we had 4 figures from this line. Wonder Woman, the blue and purple penguin, Lex Luthor, and Robin. And Robin is my favorite DC character of all time. But
short shorts.
that was like the only Robin until the animated series came out. But so he was like my Robin with the Toy Biz Batman. He was my Robin with the Dark Knight collection Batman up until the animated series or the third movie. So like I love these figures. And then I think we inherited a bunch from a cousin that just got rid of all the stuff.
Wish I had those cousins.
Yeah, I know. God.
Well, they didn't know that they gave it away. Their dad.
Yes.
That's how it happens. Yeah.
Yep.
No, this is a fantastic line. I think this is
Oh,
it.
and the
This is
original you have
nope,
on there.
this is
This
number
is it.
two. It's number two.
Third time on the list. Third time. I mean,
Wow.
Well, this is one of those things where, like, I mean, you probably know what the first one is, but like, I remember there's some core memories I have, and I remember being like, I don't know, 4 or 5 or something like that. I remember like mom was going out, I was jumping on her bed, fell off, and as I hit the floor, I saw He-Man and Battle Cat under her bed, and I had that split. I was an evil child. I was like, do I ignore it or do I cry and try to get it? And so I cried. So I got the box, and it was meant for a cousin's birthday, but that was my first He-Man and Battle Cat was blackmail. And I just fell in love. Like, I mean, again, just this electric shock of like, what is this? This world is so dark and mysterious and barbarian and sci-fi. And it was everything to everyone. It was great.
That is a cool memory of how you like introduce
And a devious one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Still, really great story. I no matter how devious you think you are, that's just a way that gets magical, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. But it's the thing, it's like that, you see it for a split second, and again, like the old box art was like so like almost like Conan-ish, like, I mean, by design probably, but like it was dark, and it's like that thing where like we were kind of used to like Fisher Price and lots of like colorful, bold colors kind of thing, and this seemed very like forbidden in a way.
That's a really good point, because as blonde as he is, the artwork on the boxes was dark, foreboding, mysterious. It was interplanetary and yet very barbarian. And I was the same thing going, yes, it's this naked man, but you had these creatures he was fighting, and they were doing it in such this incredibly Conan way. And I probably had seen Conan by then, but when it came out, these things sparked my imagination.
Yep. Yeah, it's just, I mean, they hit, and I mean, and that's the thing, it hits some sort of core thing in all of us. I mean, like, there's a reason it was the top dog. I know, like, G.I. Joe and Transformers have probably outlasted it more or less, but like, or like stayed in the shelves longer. But I mean, this was like,
true.
But this was like, this was huge, and especially coming out of Star Wars, where we were like, everyone was Team Star Wars. This sort of just came out like a shot of something.
And what's great too is, besides the Star Wars was small and they suddenly got bigger figures, but there was I love saying it. I got these when they were released, which was a whole entire year before the cartoon. So I have this fascination of the original figures, which again is why I collect Origins vintage. There's some things in the chat there that are pretty cool there, Thomas.
I was gonna say, well, a few years back, I picked up MOC Mantis up at a convention. My dad passed away that year. Sorry.
Well, above it, he mentions how the first outing with my dad after my parents' divorce, he took me and my sister to a movie, Silver Bullet, and bought me a Superpowers Mantis. So that's why. So the comment above. Yeah, so there's the connection, which I love these stories, how people relate to a certain toy. I love stories that people go, this is why there's an emotional connection to that and why I like it later.
Let's see. And then I didn't, these days we're getting all 80s toys returned. But where are the 60s and 70s? Maybe those.
Thank you. Where's Big Jim?
Nobody wants you, Big Jim.
Big Jim. Hey, he is featured in the Motu trailer. Did everybody see that?
Yes, in the toy store.
Yeah.
I think for the 60s, though, I mean, it's like, it was such a different animal, because, I mean, like, the 80s really birthed, like, franchises where it's like, especially He-Man, Transformers, G.I. Joe, where they're like, if you do it, you need the cartoon, you need the cake pans, you need the Valentine's Day cards, you need the bed sheets, you need the tent. Like, it has to be a multimedia package, and they created that mold. I mean, Star Wars really created it, but by the time these came around, they were like,
sheets.
We're going to perfect it. And you see how that model to this day, like
merchandise.
Exactly. But I mean, 60s and 70s, they were like, here's MASH, here's the Love Boat, here's those big ass G.I. Joes. Like, it was kind of just like, kind of whatever. Like,
There's my mash clinger.
Mash. Exactly.
I got my
In the
clinger
dress.
and drag.
What a
$6 million
weird
man.
action figure.
Very,
That's
but
true,
well, they made that one, so it can't be on your show.
I'm surprised the $6 million man has not been remade already.
Well, they tried to
There's a
remake
few
the
reboots.
TV shows, but they sucked. They were not good, so I can see why they wouldn't make the toys. But toys were unique. They were again the 12-inch. They had that G.I. Joe Big Jim feel, that doll-esque action figure, but they won't be in the common man's eyes. So I don't know why they're not making them for collectors.
All right.
Yeah, they're
this is your
definitely
number
targeting
two.
a certain generation.
We're going to move on to your number one.
Woo!
Obviously. This is actually another probably also horrible story. But again, another like core memory where we were, I don't know what, like it was like basically my parents took me to a house party they were going to. And it was like this couple that like we had never went before. I remember being upstairs where where the adults were. And there's all the food and there's a little mirror with like flour in the corner. And I was like, can I have that? And they were like, go downstairs with the kids. And I was like, okay. But then I guess Star Wars was playing probably for the first time on TV that night. And that was the first time I watched it. And it wasn't in the theaters. And I was just like, again, this is my personality night, like now. So I remember like in the car ride home being like, and then there's a dog man. And then there's this chick with like buns in her hair. And then they were in a trash compactor. And they were like, shut up. But then they kind of wisely, Star Wars figures were everywhere. They were everywhere. So, and they were cheap and plentiful. And, they're
plentiful is right.
Like, I mean, packed. And the entire collection was always on sale. Always
on.
All the
Loads
movies.
of them.
So like, it's just, like they wisely sort of, I think Admiral Akbar was my first one. And to this day is like one of my favorite characters, one of my favorite figures.
Admiral Akbar was your first of the original action figures?
Oh yeah, and it's like I sold my original. He's down like right
so
there.
Honestly, it is a trap then.
It was indeed a trap. And that's the other thing too. My mother kind of discovered that she had a bit of the collector bug because she was like, that's her first, time she really started collecting herself. So she's like, we're getting it all. Like, I don't care what you want. I'm getting them all for you. So she was like a woman obsessed. She's like, getting into fights at department stores. She was getting them at. She was doing all the things.
I think we're asking, did the $6 million man, did the Super 7 make a reaction of that? I bet, because I would have known if they made a full size. I mean, if
it wasn't an ultimate. It wasn't an ultimate.
No.
So now, do you go and collect the retro collection?
Yes, and custom too. That's a funny thing. There are between like your Stan Solos, your Funky McClunkies, Outer Rim.
Stan Solo makes some good work.
Stan's is the best. I'm not gonna lie. Like say what you will about the man, but I mean, like I've got his Ula, I've got his Leia, I've got his quite a few.
Now, when you
actually.
say, do you collect the retro collection or do you get vintage originals?
So I have the vintage originals, except for EV99. That was the one I got a repro one because I'm like, I'm not spending $1,000 on a janky busted one. I was like, I just want the character. I'm not here for the investment. So I just want the character. Like, it's fine. It's fine. So like, she's the one that's not vintage, but I also don't care at all. Yeah. So I got the vintage before the retro collection really started,
of course,
kicking up, but I was sort of filling in some blanks with some customs long before that. And now that Hasbro's really leaning into doing like characters we never got, I'm like excited to see.
Okay. I love that you said you saw Star Wars on TV. I remember its debut, and then I remember it appearing again. It was very rare that it would be on TV, but I was alive, but I didn't see it in 77. I actually saw Star Wars in 79. It's re-release right before The Empire Strikes Back. So my brothers and sisters had gone to it in 77. My dad took my sister Heather and I to it in 79. And then I was all in just like you. My head had exploded. And then, of course, a year later, I get the Empire. So we were all in.
Eating good then.
God, it was great.
And then, this little yellow image, like all these figures, especially once part of the Force, like the first part of the Force.
Oh.
We all cut it out. We all markered off, like, which ones we got. Like,
I didn't throw away packages. I used them as...
But we didn't have the internet. We didn't have resources.
No,
we didn't know what was coming. Like,
we had catalogs.
Yep. Circling things.
Yeah.
You're like,
All right.
gee, Santa, this would be great. Wink. Like,
Wink, wink. Mom and Dad, I want Santa to know I want these things.
yeah, Santa.
Well, that brings us to the end of our getting to know you. So, Andrew, I hope you had fun today. It was great getting to know you and talking to you. I think we had some fun conversation. Welcome back whenever you want. Just
Absolutely.
give us a holler. But everyone that has joined in the chat, if you could,
Thomas is giving you a free gift. Oh, wait, no.
Free Janine.
Free Janines for everybody. If
For
you go
everyone
ahead,
in the chat, you get our respect. All right.
yeah, check out Gayties
Oh,
channel. And then if you could just hit like on your way out. Appreciate it. Everyone that was active in the chat. Thank you. I think we like having guests on. Maybe we'll have
I think so.
more. So appreciate everybody. We're gonna go ahead and sign out now. So hope you all have a good night. You all want to sign out and tell us what y'all got going on
Sure.
on your channel?
I'm excited for this Friday, going right back into action figures and riding the Motu train. The title of the show is Motu Origins Cheated Us All. So hopefully that's enough click for you. But yeah, I'm going to talk about the action features that they neutered in the Motu Origins line. So what they didn't bring back when they brought back the toy. So we're going to talk about those really cool gimmicks that they decided to cut and be sad about it. There you go.
Neutered. Nice. Gaze, you have anything coming up?
I do. That's gonna do probably get my usual live streams each month, but the next I think I already mentioned, next month's MIA 80s Ladies is gonna be Shadow Strikers, which is a weird line. It's a kind of almost successor to Mask, but bad. So it's gonna be interesting.
I had heard of it. That's where it is. Thank you. I was like,
Mhm.
I know this. That's what it is.
And then I'm trying to bang out a video for Friday night that is going to be the history of Super Soaker, and it's in the middle of the winter and everyone's getting snowed in right now. So why am I doing it? Black History Month. Lonnie Johnson, I think, is a pioneer in the toy industry, and just want to highlight his story. So hopefully check it out. Great show. Thank you.
Thanks, Scotty. Yes, I do.
And title is spicy. Thumbnail will need to be good. Need a good screen face to match. All right. Thank you, everybody. Hope you all had a
Bye,
yes.
everyone.
Dr. Lonnie Johnson. Thank you. Bye, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.